Welcome back, fellow travelers. I want to talk to you today about a charge that's happening at the gate for a lot of passengers. They don't know what's going on before they get to the airport, and they're getting dinged with $50 fees. I want to tell you how to avoid it, what it is, and all that. So let's jump in. We are going to take a look at some of the airlines that are involved in this practice. It might not be comprehensive, but I know that these are 3 airlines that people are highlighting these charges on. They are United Airlines, American Airlines, and of course, Delta. So the big 3 airlines for the United States, all 3 have introduced new fares in the past called basic economy. So basic economy here, right there, and then basic economy here. What does it mean for you? As you can tell, so here I've picked, in this case, Washington, LA, I've picked New York, LA, and I've picked, I believe this one here is Atlanta, LA. What are we looking at? We are looking at continue session. Come on now. We are looking at areas where it's not available, so there's a lot of people that are buying them, and I believe here this is refreshed, where this might be introduced. There's a lot of people that take this, it might be this one here, yeah, sold out. So there are a lot of people utilizing this basic fare because it's cheaper. So in this case here, the one that's available is $312 versus $372, so that's $60. Here, if we find one that's available, it's a $10 difference. And here, again, mostly a $10 difference. In this case here, they're exactly the same, so I do not take basic economy. If they're the exact same, go ahead and take economy. Just don't sell yourself short. What is basic economy? It's a no frills method of getting, I was going to say thrills, but frills I think is the better one, of getting from point A to point B. So what does this mean? So when we go in and we hit select, thankfully we have the details, but a lot of people are just skipping through this and they're not really realizing what they're committing to. So in United's case, you don't choose, change, or upgrade your seat. You just get what's given to you. You don't really necessarily get to sit with your group or family. So if there happens to be 2 seats side by side left together, fine. But you are not, you're not going to get guaranteed seating that you'll be able to sit next to one another. So if you're traveling with children, or you're traveling with an elderly person, or anybody that might need special assistance, don't get this, okay? Don't get this. Bring a full-size carry-on bag on board. We're going to touch on this in just a second. Not allowed. Can't change your flights. You cannot earn any miles, points, credits, whatever. So if you commit to this, you can go ahead and book it. For $10, not worth it. Not worth it at all. Why? Where does that $50 come in? This is going to apply to the other 2 airlines. I've just used United's as an example, not to sell either airline short. They all have the same things where you accept the restriction. I think this might be new, though, because a lot of people are complaining about this that they had no idea. I wasn't subject to it, so I'm not 100% sure. But each time you go to click on it, you are going to look at the situation here, and you're going to see that session's about to expire. Come on now. Anyways, looking at everything, are these $10 worth it? And I said no. Why is it not worth it? The main reason is the carry-on bag. So you're allowed one item that fits under the seat. On American, United, Delta's a bit different, but they do fall into that $50 fee as well. And I'll explain the whole thing why right now. So what happens is people are going to the gate with their bags, with their carry-on bags, and then they're being told that they can't carry that on. Why? Well, they're allowed their personal items, so that's like a duffel bag or a backpack, a purse, whatever. If you have something with wheels or something that does not fit in the seat in front of you, not overhead, you do not have access to the overhead bin when you are flying on basic economy on the 2 airlines that I mentioned. Delta's, again, a bit different. I want to stress that in case anybody types in that I was wrong about Delta. But Delta, again, still applies. I don't want to get too confusing here, so we're going to keep on this line of thought. So if they see, if the gate agent sees that you have a bigger bag that's not going to fit in front of you, well, what's going to happen is you are going to be charged a $25 checked-in fee at the gate. And because you didn't plan it ahead of time, you are processed a $25 fee, like a processing fee or handling fee, whatever the heck they call it. So that's $50. $50 charge to save $10 on a flight. not a good idea, let alone the fact that you're giving up earning miles and all sorts of things. Just being able to select your seat, all sorts of other benefits is just not worth it. If you're flying on a budget and that $10 does make a difference, just know that these are the restrictions. They are pretty hefty. And again, looking at American Airlines, it's pretty much the same thing. Not eligible for upgrades. Seat assigned at check-in. So you don't get seat assigned at check-in. You wait till the end. One item that fits under the seat. No access to the overhead bin. They lay it out there for you pretty good. Board in last group. So there are areas where, I mean, if this is like a few $100s more, if the main cabin or the one above basic economy is substantially more money, then yeah, the basic economy might be the way to go. When it gets to $10, I think you're hard pressed. So people on these two airlines have been facing $50 fees. So how do you avoid it? First, don't book basic economy. If that's not a possibility, you need to really make sure that whatever you have with you is able to fit into the smallest bag possible. You will not have access to the bin. Now, you might be saying, well, how are they going to know that, I'm going to be using the top bin? I don't know if they've gotten that granular where they're actually having flight attendants look at the people and cross-reference their booking class with their seat and then asking if there's seats up and above. What I do know 100% is what they're doing is at the gate, they are looking at passengers that have carry-on items, bigger bags, so the rollers, and they are having players. I said they are having passengers. I have my gaming headset on. I just realized this because I was watching a video on something else, checking the audio for my own video, and then as I thought, take off my player headset, I said players instead of passengers. Anyways, so they're looking at passengers that have these roller items, and they're cross-referencing whether or not they have the proper fare, and then they're charging you right there. And if you don't want to accept the fee, you're not getting on the aircraft, or your bag's not getting there. Somebody's not getting on the aircraft. So I personally prefer traveling with a duffel bag anyways. That might be the way to go. If you need a duffel bag to expand or collapse, it's a lot easier. It's more malleable. You're able to really... You're more easily able to maneuver the contents of your bag because it's just, it's a cloth that's holding up your stuff together, whereas the wheelie bag is really structured to prevent damage. The fact that the bag is going in the seat under you, in front of you, so you're not really going to need to worry about, it getting knocked mid-flight or anything like that. You just need to remember not to step on your bag when you're sitting down. That's pretty much it. Now, how does Delta differ? Well, Delta is different just by a bit in the sense that they allow you to have your carry-on bag and a personal item. So you're like, okay, that's good. Maybe I'll fly United. The price is $60 difference, and if I get charged at $50, I'm still saving $10. Maybe that's worth it in this scenario, but you have to remember that you're also losing a lot of other aspects of your flight. So is that $10 for you worth the aspect of, not collecting miles or points or whatever? Probably not. The one thing where you will get screwed and will get dinged if you're charged is you are last aboard. So if any of you have already been on a flight, you know that if you get on late, you're going to have trouble finding space for your luggage in the overhead bin. And what happens is that if your luggage won't fit in the overhead bin, well, then you're going to be charged that $50 if you're on the basic economy. One thing that you need to pay attention to is that most flights within the United States or leaving from the United States these days leave at full capacity. The airlines are running near full capacity. I have not traveled on a flight to or from the United States or within the United States that has been relatively empty. It's always been packed. There's always been a standby list. They've always been looking for volunteers. It's a situation where don't expect to be able to get yourself access to these types of amenities if you're flying on the lower tier service. So there you go. That's how you can avoid the $50 charge. That's the $50 charge. That's what it's all about. I want to make you aware that this does exist. People are getting charged $50. They don't know it until they get to the gate. I hope that has saved you a bit of cash. If you'd like to check out some of my other videos, you can do that, right over here in this area. If you'd like to subscribe, it really helps the channel out. Really appreciate it. And I also appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch the video. Thanks for making me, one of your sources for information. Till next time, safe travel.